Managing the blood bank of Hawaii in the middle of the Pacific Ocean, no less, is never an easy task, especially nowadays as it faces multiple and competing demands. Our EBC Hawaii correspondent Alfred Acenas interviewed the organization's president and CEO, highlighting on the present challenges and opportunities ahead. Watch this.
President and Chief Executive Officer Dr. Kim Ann Nguyen takes pride in Blood Bank of Hawaii's unique mission and capabilities if compared to its counterparts in North America.
We're the sole provider of blood and blood products to all of the civilian hospitals in the state of Hawaii. So what does that mean? Without Blood Bank of Hawaii, our hospitals would not have blood on their shelves. You know, we all think that Hawaii is different and Hawaii is special, and when it comes to blood, we are a little different. So, as an example, the JK3 negative, very, very rare blood type, much more commonly seen among Polynesians, Filipinos, Native Hawaiians. If you happen to be on the mainland in the United States, less than 1 in a million donors would have this rare blood type. And so we're very fortunate in Hawaii to have the United States' largest repository of this very precious rare blood type.
Tell us about the receiving end on the other islands.
So we talked about how Hawaii is different because of the blood type, but Hawaii is also unique in terms of its blood distribution operations. We use planes every day to ship blood to our hospitals. Without that, our hospitals would not have a blood supply. 70% of the blood that we collect, we have to go to the donors. And so every other week, we are on a neighbor island. We ship our staff, our supplies, we collect blood on the neighbor island, and then we ship blood back multiple times a day. And so our logistics rely on constant transportation and the use of our partner airlines.
One recurring challenge for Blood Bank of Hawaii is the so-called summer doldrums, during which blood donation is at its lowest levels. Dr. Nguyen explains why this is so and even commends one global church in Waipahu for setting the example for the rest of the state.
So going into the summer, that is our hardest time. Why? Because schools are out and many of our blood drives are in our high schools and people go on vacation. So just today, looking at our blood supply, we're down to about a day and a half blood supply. We know that our hospitals are well stocked, but we depend on 200 people every day rolling up their sleeves because blood doesn't last forever. Blood only lasts for about a month and a half. And so a constant supply of donors rolling up their sleeves is critical to keep that perishable and fragile blood supply reliable. So as an example, I know last year we did our first triple bloodmobile drive at one of the churches in Waipahu. So that brought in, what, about 200 pints of blood. That's just one day's blood supply. So if people can imagine, we need that kind of commitment and blood drive every day this summer in order to keep our blood supply strong.
An even greater challenge, the City-County of Honolulu plans to construct part of its elevated rail network directly in front of the blood bank's main facility. Dr. Nguyen stressed on her company's concerns, but also touched on some measures taken so far to get ahead of this and any potential crisis.
We are a very regulated, very hygienic laboratory, and we process blood and keep it safe and keep the supply going by utilizing highly regulated, very, very hygienic conditions. In addition to that, we store our blood supply and it has to be available 24/7, 365. So therefore, the ability for us to operate without interruption 24 hours a day is critical. And in order to operate, we need to be able to have full access to all of the highways and the airport. And unfortunately, with the rail being constructed and operating within, frankly, inches from the wall of our building, all of this, the access, the conditions are in jeopardy.
It needs to be
Knowing this and knowing the impact to blood bank's operations, we had to make some difficult decisions. And we had to decide that we need to relocate and find a new headquarters.
But the greatest challenge that Blood Bank of Hawaii alludes to is preparing for and responding to large-scale disasters, a remote but possible scenario wherein collaboration and communication with numerous organizations will become crucial for success.
Fortunately, Blood Bank of Hawaii is part of the Hawaii Healthcare Association, and we're also part of the state's emergency preparedness program. In fact, we're gearing up to do a disaster training run in the middle of June. So it means that we have to have communications in an emergency using satellite phones, ham radios, if need be. We have to have clear communications and scripts as to how blood would get from Blood Bank of Hawaii to each of our hospitals. We also have to be prepared in case we need to do emergency flights and blood runs. And we need to work collaboratively with our partners, Tripler Army Medical Center, the military, our hospitals, to come up with contingency plans. All of these coordinations are critical, and we have to be prepared and we have to test them routinely.
As I wrapped up my interview, Dr. Nguyen had this short and simple message about the importance of donating blood, especially in one of the most remote locations in the world.
This summer, more challenging than ever with the rail response plan. So I'm asking the public, please come out and support Blood Bank, roll up your sleeve and donate blood.
For the time being, the Blood Bank of Hawaii continues to deal with its own balancing act, answering the call of the public while meeting the needs of the state and local governments. Reporting from Honolulu, Hawaii, I'm Alfred Asenas for Eagle News. I'm Juan with 25.